Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night thinking about next month's bills? Have you ever felt that tightness in your chest when you look at your bank account balance, even knowing you worked hard all month? If you're here right now, it's because you know exactly what I'm talking about. This constant fear of running out of money isn't just about numbers on a phone screen. It's about something much deeper happening in your mind. And today, we're going to understand together the psychology behind this feeling that paralyzes millions of people. Every month, it's the same story. You check your account, do the math in your head, and realize that once again, there's nothing left. Even worse, maybe you're in the red. And then that suffocating feeling hits, the sense that you're stuck on a never-ending wheel. You work, you get paid, you pay the bills, and you end up right back where you started. It feels like money slips through your fingers no matter how hard you try. And there's more. That guilt that shows up right after. You start asking yourself where you went wrong, why you can't control yourself, why that purchase felt so necessary in the moment and now seems so pointless. You start comparing yourself to other people who seem to have everything figured out, while you feel like a financial failure. The anxiety shows up at night when you should be resting, but your mind is busy calculating how much you still owe on your credit card, how much you need to save, how much you should have saved but didn't. This cycle is exhausting, and the worst part is that you know you need to change, but every time you think about really looking at your finances, that knot in your throat shows up and you choose to push the problem aside. It feels easier to ignore it than to face it. But while you ignore it, the anxiety only grows, the fear only increases, and the feeling of being trapped becomes more and more real. What you're experiencing has a name in behavioral psychology, the scarcity mindset. When you operate from this mindset, your brain goes into survival mode. It can't think long term. It can only see the immediate threat of not having enough money. And you know what happens then? You make impulsive decisions. You avoid planning because planning feels painful. And you end up spending in an uncontrolled way precisely because you're under so much stress. The scarcity mindset works like a tunnel. It narrows your vision so all you can see is the immediate problem, and you lose the ability to see opportunities, think creatively, or make choices that benefit your future. That's why even when people earn more money, many of them still feel like it's never enough. It's not just about how much money comes in, but about how your mind processes your relationship with money. Let me tell you about Pedro. He's an engineer, earns well above average, but lives in debt. To friends and family, Pedro looks like a successful guy, but on the inside, he's fighting a silent battle every single day. Every time his paycheck hits, Pedro feels a momentary sense of relief, but within days, that suffocating feeling comes back. Pedro buys things he doesn't need when he feels anxious. That's how he learned to deal with work stress and the constant pressure he feels. A more expensive dinner here, a new gadget there, one more streaming subscription. Nothing extreme, but by the end of the month, it all adds up, and when the bills arrive, the guilt is crushing. Pedro feels trapped in a cycle of self-sabotage. He knows what he needs to do, but the emotional weight of facing his finances feels so overwhelming that he'd rather stay in this destructive pattern than confront the reality of the numbers. But here's the good news. You can break out of this cycle. Change begins when you recognize that the problem isn't that you're bad with money, it's the behaviors you learned over the course of your life, and behaviors can be unlearned and replaced. The first step is replacing the scarcity mindset with an abundance mindset. That doesn't mean pretending problems don't exist. It means starting to see possibilities where you used to see only obstacles. Start small. Set aside just 15 minutes a week to look at your finances without judgment, simply observing. Stop avoiding and start getting to know your patterns. When you understand why you spend, it becomes easier to change how you spend. And remember, the goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Every small, conscious decision you make today is building a healthier relationship with money tomorrow. Your relationship with money is, in reality, your relationship with yourself, and you deserve financial peace. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever felt trapped in this cycle of financial anxiety and guilt? How do you deal with the fear of running out of money? Leave a comment below. Let's talk about it. And if you want to learn more about how to transform your financial mindset, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. In the next video, we're going to talk about how to overcome the fear of investing and why you keep sabotaging your own chances of financial growth. See you next time.